Since one recognizes that there is no calmness, it's almost impossible to instigate that calm state organically by oneself. That is something one needs to understand, that it's not possible to do it by yourself because you're already out of that calm state. So one needs certain amount of resources. So resources is something that you would need, let's call a support system a resource. So one needs a support system to anchor oneself back to that calm state, which is already there, which you've just sort of like lost it. There's a sense of losing that state. So one needs to actively do something about it. So when somebody wants to achieve calmness out of the restlessness state and going back to the calm, you can't just, I won't say you can't. It's almost impossible to be in this very meditative state to achieve that. So there needs to be, because there's an active state, one also needs to actively pursue to get out of that state. And hence one needs support system. And there are lots of support system in the world that is catering to achieve that homeostasis, to bring the mind to that balance from where you can then actively participate in doing something which the calmness can then be grounded, can be pursued. So if one is in a restlessness state, one is not calm, one has a lot of anxiety. So the first thing that I would recommend is to be resourceful, to look out for the support system in the world that would then guide oneself back to the calm state. Now, how does one do that? There are various modalities in the world, and I will name few of them. Sound healing is one of the amazing modality that is there to bring the whole system into a calm state. It works with frequencies. The sound healing is not only the singing bowl, but there is also tuning forks. These are something that I have really used them frequently, and I still do, to bring the mind into nothingness, because the sound has this deep science to it that it reverberates the entirety of our being. So one can use sound healing to clear out the whole mind and body system, because all the noise of the mind, the chattering of the mind, the restlessness is ultimately vibrations. So in the Shastric system, in our traditional system, we tackle something with the same thing, but from the higher frequency, So if you're completely restless, then you become actively participating in that restlessness, to take charge of it, to bring that into the homeostasis. So sound healing is something that I have personally found it really amazing, that you can find a good therapist. There are a lot of things online now that is also quite useful. So sound healing is one thing. There's hypnotherapy. Clinical hypnotherapy is also an amazing tool that also, again, uses speech to bring your mind back to its source, to bring it to the deep unconscious level, and then go further and bring the whole mind to the calm state. There's pranic healing that clears all the energy channels and clears your nadis and clears your energy system. Basically, the pranic healing is amazing. And in any form, you dance, you use sports is an amazing way to clear the mind. It functions with the body, and you sweat, and you use your body to you shake your body, and like you remove all these blockages. Sports, you use any form of art. Art is a creative field, is something that works beyond the mind. It's the field that is operating outside of the noisy mind. So the more time you spend outside of the mind field, the more calmness you achieve. So art, dance, you use writing as your therapy. You go for hiking. You do anything. You can go, shamans are really amazing. You can go to shamanic practices. Well, we call in Nepal, we call it Jhakri Vidya, but they're an amazing tool when they gong those drums and then it takes you to a trance through music. The whole idea is to go outside the field of the mind. So another is biodynamic craniosacral therapy. Biodynamic craniosacral therapy is something that I also offer, but not right now physically. But there are practitioners who you can get in touch with, and that is an amazing modality that works through stillness practices. That is another. So there are various models that you can use as your resource, as your support system to bring the restless state of mind and anchor back to the calm state. But have this in your awareness that this is not permanent. This is a temporary resource that can help you anchor back to your calm state because it's inherently there. It's just something that you fell out of. One also needs to realize that, right? So use this modality. If you're not calm, use this modality as fast as possible. Use them, jump, dance, be with animals, use all the creative tools that you can anchor yourself back into calmness. Use the different practices. There are so many modalities in the world. As I said, use them. What works with you? Try them. Don't be scared to try it out. You can always retrieve back from it. Remember that you are the sovereign and you are the decision maker of this body and mind system. No one can take that away from you. So being grounded on that, be resourceful and use this modality to bring yourself back to the calm state. Now, once you have this temporary relief state where you achieve your calmness, but remember that it's not going to last for a very long time. Now, that is where that calm state that you achieve after using this modality is where that calmness that you need to use that temporary calm state of mind to inquire further that now what do you really need to adapt in your lifestyle to eliminate those stuff that is not really useful for you. So this is where the introspection and inquiry really would come handy. What are the toxicity that you are living with? What are the relationship that brings you down? How actively are you performing or participating in those relationships? What do you need to do to bring that relationship into harmony, to bring that relationship into a healthy dynamic? Because relationships are draining, These are something that are very important to us. These are something that needs the another to participate as well for the dynamic to work properly. So these are the areas that one really need to introspect, to eliminate, to keep what is really important and have this audacity, have this courage to let go what is not really useful for you. Because calmness is not something that is light. Calmness is a treasure. It's something that is a substrate of our being. You cannot just use that as something that is, whatever that is. No, you should value that. And that comes with a huge amount of effort, and your desire to be there has to be there. Your desire to be in the calm state has to be there. So if that desire and that your intention is powerful, if your goal is to achieve calmness, then from that powerful intent, that powerful desire, rest of the thing just sets up for you, So relationship, how are you going to have, what kind of a relationship do you really want in your life, and how do you want to be in a relationship? This is an amazing and very important part to really look into. How's your diet like? Because the food that you eat is directly connected to your energy field, and that's how this whole energy system is built. What is good for you? I don't really believe in following anybody. You need to listen. You need to listen to a huge body of knowledge that is existing in our shastras, in Ayurveda. You need to listen and acknowledge. And then when you apply it, you need to apply it in this mind and body system and know what is really good for you. You need to know your constitution. If you go to Ayurvedic system, you need to acknowledge if you're going to a nutritionist, then you need to know and experiment with this body and mind system. What are the food that is good for you? You need to have this ability to let go of those habits that are not good for you. So if you're really asking me how to be calm, I'm not going to give you a recipe like, okay, do this, and it's going to happen, because calmness is yours. You're going to cultivate it and you're going to abide in it. So you need to treasure it, and you need to put that kind of effort and love and reverence to that. It's something that you build on. So relationships, food habits, how are you living? What kind of thoughts are you having? And the thoughts are usually coming through all the relationships that you have, and what kind of a perspective that you hold of the world. These are the areas from where all these thoughts are coming. What is your tendency? What is your goal in life? What do you want to receive from this world? Like, do you have these qualities of envy, jealousy? Do you nurture those tamasic gunas, those guna, those elements that are not useful for you? So you need to really use the temporary state of calmness that you have achieved through these resources of sound healing, art, music, whatever that you received or acquired, to receive that temporary state of calmness. That temporary state of calmness then should be further used to inquire into this mind and body system. What are you really doing with your life? What is your food habits? What are your relationship? What are your thought patterns? What do you really need to invest? Investment is a good word. It is an investment. You are investing in this mind and body system. How do you want to invest it? What kind of people do you want? How do you want to have a family? What kind of plans do you want? I mean, everything. It's basically a lifestyle. You need to understand that it's a lifestyle that basically nurtures and sustains that calm state. So all these aspects, you really need to use that calm, temporary calm, to introspect lifestyle, your food habits, your relationships, your thought patterns. What are you really hooked on to? What are you really attached to? What are you not ready to let go of? What is needed? What quality needs to be cultivated so that you can let go of things? Because ultimately you need to let go of everything in life, right? So why not practice now? So these are the qualities that you need to bring in your life to then cultivate, because these are the forces that is affecting your calm state. You need to understand that, because calmness is a state then which is bombarded with the mind attributes, from all the sides. So you need to be really firm about what you want. You want calm. Now, what you need to do about it, So you need to take charge of that. Don't just let go. Okay, be in this victim state of mind. What am I going to do? Oh, it is like this. The society is like this. My mother is like this. No, they are like that. But what are you going to do about it? You got to take charge of this mind, You got to make a decision. So you have to, if you want something that is your want, now you gotta own that want, and you gotta make that yours, and you gotta actively participate in achieving that goal and what is required to do that, because it is not an easy thing in this time and age to achieve something which might look like a small thing to first glance, but it is massive. To achieve calmness is a massive task. The whole spiritual systems in entire world is basically created around achieving that calmness, So it is not an easy thing. It is a huge thing. It is the basis of sannyas to achieve calm, So, and to achieve calmness in this world, participating in this world, not taking sannyas, being a grihastha is even more harder. So you need to have this very firm desire. It's a desire that comes, Desire is very, very potent field that you can then direct into whatever that you want. And it's an intention that goes forth, and that's what you're going to develop. You got to understand this law. It's a law. It's a secret. It's an open secret. So, yes. So you basically need to look at your life very carefully once you achieve that temporary state of calm, and do achieve that calm state temporarily though, and then use it further and go back more often, use the resources more often and introspect. But further than this, what I would like to encourage is that you need to develop an objectively seeing capacity. Watch your breath. 10 minutes a day. Watch your breath without really intruding. However the breath is, just watch. If it's long, it's long. It's short, it's short. It's fast, it's fast. It's warm, it's cold. You are not able to watch the breath at all. Even that is an objectivity. You need to develop this capacity to see something objectively without any intrusion. Start with the breath. If you are not able to watch it, that itself is an objectivity that you are not able to watch it. Be with that for 10 minutes. Put an alarm. Watch. Be in a place of not being able to watch. That is an objective field already, So we have this capacity to go further back. Be like, really go further back and have this capacity to just watch without any intrusion. Do that with the mind. Do that with the body. Do that with the breath. Do that with the sensation in the body. Do that with just the finger and the sensation that is coming in your fingers right now. If you just go to your fingertips as I'm talking, you can sense this buzzingness in your fingertips, right? Objectivity, listening. All the sense organ is bringing some sort of sense within your field of awareness. Being objectively, developing this objectivity to watch and do nothing about it. Be in that tension field of just watching. This is very, very important. And you got to do it 10 minutes, develop into 15 minutes, develop into 20 minutes, develop into half an hour, develop into 45, 60, develop. This is your lifestyle eventually. This is how you're going to live. Being objectively there, and things are happening. Things happens. You will do whatever is required. You will not have a sense of doership. You will have a sense of beingship, if that guy can say ship. You'll have a sense of being, but the happening is happening by itself. There's no doership. This is preached in Gita. This is the essence of Tantra Shastra. This is the core. You gotta develop this, This is the core of everything. You gotta develop this objective field. Where is calmness? The calmness is actually abiding in this awareness state of being. Awareness is not in the doership. Doership is something that happens. It is happening whether you like it or not. This samsara is going on whether you like it or not, So it is something that you got to develop. I'm going to be firm here. You got to develop the objective capacity, the ability to be objectively present. Develop it with breath. Again, I'm saying develop with breath. The ability to not even be aware, develop that awareness of not being aware. Aware consciousness state, your Chaitanya Shakti, right? Your calmness is ultimately in your Chaitanya, not in the busyness of the mind, not in the doership. The doership is something that happens, That is something that is there in your in your karmic field. It is something that is there, So you cannot do it. It just happens. And with practice, you will know. You'll remember me one day that, she said this one day, So develop. So calmness is something that is in the awareness, is in the Chaitanya Shakti that you need to develop. And this Chaitanya, this Prakasha, this ability to be absolutely aware of the Shakti that is the dynamic energy of the world, calmness is in this awareness, right? So the gist of everything is being aware that you are not calm is the first achievement. Being resourceful, use all the modalities in the world to achieve that temporary calmness. Be there. Do it as much as needed. Be in the calm state. Bring yourself in the calm state, but then use that calmness to introspect further into your psychic system, your mind system, your body system. Know this body and mind. What am I doing that is bringing this forth? Where do I need to bring boundaries? Where do I need to say no? What qualities do I need to develop to be able to have psychic boundaries? Because the boundaries are psychological more than it's physical. You need to have this ability to stand firm in your own being. You need to build that capacity and have that strength in yourself to achieve that state of calmness. It's not going to come that easy, So yeah, if you want to get in touch with me to further unpack through any social medias, you're more than welcome. I can help you further, but yeah, use that calm state of mind to inquire into your own mind, body, psychic system, and then develop slowly. Sit 10 minutes, increase that span of time of sitting and watching your mind, your breath, your body. And eventually that practice is just going to spill in your day-to-day life. You don't have to sit anymore after a certain time. But till then, you need to invest in this capacity to see your own body, mind, psychic field objectively. Sit back further and have this capacity to watch. And that watching, that awareness is calm. That is Chaitanya is calm. So that is the shortcut to temporary calmness and the investment that you need, that is required to build this island of calm for your whole life to then prosper in it. So I hope this is useful, and I really hope you do something about it, because this is my life's work, and this is further my life's work, to have this quality that you can be in calm at the same time you can participate in this dynamic world, which is the Shiva and Shakti, by principle. So you got to understand these concepts as well, to admire our shastras, admire our culture that we actually come from. These are deep-rooted shastras that hold this wisdom of knowledge that is actually applicable and that we can live. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope there are great takeaways, and I really hope you do something about your desire to be in the calm state. It's something to invest and something worth investing in. Have a great day.